What's up, guys? I'm the Wrestlegamer. Welcome back to Let's Play Tenshi 2 Special Edition, right here on the arcade. On the last episode, Neferuri had been transformed into... Well, let's just say this. Have you guys ever heard of the movie Attack of the 50-Foot Woman? Well, that's pretty much what Neferuri is, especially keeping all of her proportions intact, if you know what I mean. I mean, big. Big. So, I do understand I'm getting closer and closer to the end here as I put the TV up for my little brother to watch the TV show that he's watching. And I ask him to sit down and watch the TV show. Please. We're going to go ahead and pick it up. This was the last line in the last episode. We also got the realization that the professor that Mizuki and Bunny were talking to in their future was an alternate Kenji. So, anyway, let's go ahead. I was totally powerless to stop her, along with Bunny, Mizuki, and however many others who might still live. As these thoughts racked my mind, Michelle's avatar appeared above my communicator. I thought Michelle was dead. Kenji, we've got serious trouble. I know, Rose and the others, they're all down, maybe even... And look at that. At the city, Neferuri, she isn't saving the world. She's completely transforming everything. Turning it into a modern Egyptian empire. It's worse than that, Kenji. We've been monitoring the status up for the quantum causality loop created by the two time windows, and it's growing more intense with each passing second. If it gets any bigger, the entire planet could be pulled into the wormhole. Trapped outside of normal space-time forever. Wait, what? She said that she transformed the Earth into a paradise, one that would last forever. Oh my gosh. That's what she meant. She wants to pull the entire planet into the quantum loop, trap it in a loop of time forever. Kenji, if that happens, then I have no idea what effect so much exposure to the raw energies found in time travel would do to the entire planet. We have to do something and fast. But I don't. How long until? I'm not sure. The energy from my future selves. I assume that you know. I know, and according to our readings, the energy released from that is cascading throughout the wormhole the time windows are generating. Best guess, we have roughly 25 minutes before the effect hits our time, and the wormhole is large enough to pull the planet completely inside. Kenji, you have to do something. You have to, I'll get the bombs. No, don't. You don't know how to work them. It'll take too long to properly deploy them. Just follow my instructions. We may not be able to control our time window, but assuming that there haven't been too many changes to the lab's design, you should be able to manually disconnect the power cables on your end. That should be enough to put an end to this. I hurriedly followed Michelle's instructions and removed one of the panels near the time window. I was confronted with a couple of large cables marked in red. Alright, now you're going to have to remove the clamps from the base of the cables, and then pull them out. Without power, the time window won't be able to maintain the loop. Okay. But, any ideas what'll happen then? I don't know. Hopefully time will be able to repair any resulting paradoxes, but I just can't be sure. But I really don't know. This is far beyond anything I could have expected or even believed possible. All I can be sure of is that if you don't do this, then Earth and everything on it will be completely rewritten and trapped outside of time forever. Hoping like crazy that my quantum guard would keep me from being hit by more of the consequences of meddling with time, I released the clamps and finally managed to yank out the power cables. I quickly looked up the time window itself. I was already imagining the machinery falling dead, the energy being released, fading away. But that didn't happen. The forces being unleashed by the time window continued to shine throughout the room. As I knelt there wondering why the machine was able to work without a power source, a noise caught my attention, prompting me to look down and see... What in the... The cables had plugged themselves back in. In the seconds that I had looked up towards the time window, the power cables had returned to where they had been before, securely clamped in place, as if I had never touched them to begin with. I'm hallucinating. This isn't This just isn't possible. I told you before, Kenji Johnson. I am inevitable. Huh? Shocked, I looked up at the time window and saw Neferuri's face looking out at me from the vortex of energy. There is nothing that you can do that I cannot undo. No plan of yours that I cannot thwart. I am unstoppable. So please cease your foolishness, for I bring you in this world glad tidings. My dear Bunny and Mizuki are already rejoicing in the benefits I am bringing this world. And I promise you, in a very short time, you will gladly serve your new queen as they do. Neferuri gave a devious chuckle before her face disappeared from view. Oh, ow. When consciousness returned to Rose, it was a slow and painful process. Her entire body was racked with pain, and when her eyes opened, her field of vision was dim and blurry. But despite all that, memories of the recent losing battle came to Rose and spurred her on as she slowly regained full consciousness. As the others' voices spoke out, she realized she wasn't the only one. Oh, wow, that hurts. Kyo? Kyo where? Huh? As Rose recovered, she glanced around at her surroundings, searching for Mizuki or Bunny or any other potential threat. Her eyes went wide with amazement as she saw a lush, verdant forest instead of the desolate wasteland she and the others had been battling in. What? How is this? Wow, would you look at all of this? Are we still in the future? I think so. If we'd gone back, we'd have ended up in the lab, and... Where's Tessa? I don't know, I don't see her. Though this forest is pretty thick. Tessa, hey Tessa, where are you? Tessa? How was that? Both Rose and Kyo looked up into the air towards a groggy voice and saw Tessa lying on the crook of a tree, visibly half asleep and rolling about the branch supporting her. It didn't take long for the girls to realize what was about to happen. Uh-oh, Tessa! Huh? Tessa rolled a bit more, just enough to send her tumbling off of the branch and crashing to the ground. Youch! Tessa, are you alright? I'm pretty sure she's fine. Her head broke the fall. Tessa, now wide awake and in pain, struggled to get back to her feet and glared pure death at Kyo. Unlike some people I could mention, I actually use my brain for more than thinking about boobs. Now, would somebody mind explaining to me how the flying crap I got up there in the tree? And for that matter, where'd that tree come from? Where did this forest come from? And where? Yeah. Tessa's eyes flew wide open as she jumped back a step. Both Rose and Kyo turned around and froze at the sight of the massive being that Neferuri had become, just visible through the treetops. And who in the crap is Giga Jug? Both Rose and Kyo jumped back and clamped their hands over Tessa's mouth. I don't know what she is, but I'm sure that we don't want to attract her attention. So would you try to keep your big mouth shut? Yeah, good idea. As the three girls looked up at the gigantic curvy princess whose hands were moving like a conductor's, Michelle's avatar appeared above Rose's communicator. Rose, Kyo, Tessa. Well, thank goodness that you're all right. Listen, we're in big trouble.
Yeah, we noticed that.
Michelle, What's going on, and how do we stop it? As quickly as possible, Michelle explained everything that had happened. Kenji was already trying disabling the time window on the lab, but Neferuri was able to rewrite things so that it never happened. Right now, the only shot we have at stopping this would be to disable the third time window. It's what Neferuri is using to manipulate the time stream. Destroy it and we stop her. Wow, so you're actually advocating the common sense solution now? Guess you actually can learn from your mistakes. Of course, it happens when it's already too late, but then... Tessa! No, Q, she's right. Michelle's eyes fell as she clenched her fist. That plan that we found in the future lab files, it was everything I had ever hoped to find. It solved every single problem in saving this world, undoing everything that started the dominoes tumbling 10 years ago in this time. It was so perfect that I wound up overlooking the biggest flaw in it. I just couldn't imagine Neferuri that anybody would ever try something as completely insane as this. And now... Michelle, I know you're upset about what's happening, but we need to stay focused. Now, you say we have to destroy the third time window, but how? Bunny and Mizuki are guarding it, and if Neferuri is really as all-powerful as you make her out to be, if she can really rewrite everything the instant it happens, then how? But that's it, Rose. Neferuri isn't all-powerful. Kenji! She's transformed Bunny and Mizuki into unstoppable mega babes and is pretty much turning the entire world into another ancient Egypt. I mean, can you imagine how huge Bunny's boobs are now? You could totally use her bra for a hammock, Kenji. Okay, I didn't see what was so necessary about the boob animation, but alright. Seemingly oblivious to her own peril, Keel swung her own enormous melons around to emphasize her point while Tessa looked on in disgust. And Neferui's are just... Keel enough. Look, why doesn't Neferuri just rewrite us? She was able to change Bunny and Mizuki, so why not change us as well? Make sure we can't do anything to get in their way. Maybe she doesn't think there's anything we can do to stop her? I shook my head. I didn't know what had happened inside of me. Just minutes ago I had all but given up. Maybe it was seeing the crazed look of triumph on Neferuri's face. Maybe it was hearing that my precious friends and loved ones still lived. But as I stood in the time window room studying the girl who had just turned the entire world into a personal plaything, the last thing I was about to do was give up. If she really was so sure that there was nothing we could do, then why does she still have Bunny and Mizuki standing guard? I could see them through the monitor. Both of the transformed girls standing at the alert. I could see how they were keeping an eye open, making sure nothing interfered. No, I think the reason Neferuri doesn't just get rid of us is because she can't. What? But why? Do you think it's because of our quantum guards? No, I saw her transform Bunny and she was still wearing hers. And she had a chance to rewrite me before she even got into the third time window. That would have put another of us on her team, but she didn't. I think the reason she can't change us is because we're not from this time. And whatever she's doing hasn't reached our time yet. So until then, I think we're immune to whatever she's doing. Which means that there's still a chance that we can stop her. That makes sense, but we still need a plan. Yeah, Michelle's right. We couldn't even beat Mizuki when it was 3 against 1. How are we gonna handle her and Bunny? I didn't answer her right away. My mind had gone into overdrive, putting together everything that had just happened. Everything that was going to happen, and how we might be able to stop it. Michelle, you said that our time window was slaved over to their controls. Does that mean that, is there any chance that you could connect to the computers here? Access her files? I already tried that, but it's no good. It's the same problem as before. Almost all of the files are encrypted. You need a password to be able to decode them. A password. This thought bounced about my mind for a while, going faster and faster. And then it turned into a faint but blinding hope. Michelle, can you enter the password from your end? Well, sure, assuming that we knew what it was, but how? Then try this. Radams 31, with the R capitalized. Michelle gave me a bamboozled look, like she was worried I was losing my mind. But eventually she seemed to frown up before concentrating on something. And then... Kenji, that did it! We just gained full access to all of the files in their computer. Everything's being decrypted and... Kenji, how did you know what the password was? Because Neferuri made a big mistake. She told me that I would eventually become a professor, and that all of these theories, the files, and everything their plan was based on was on my research. Say what? Really, Kenji? Yeah, so I guess that it meant that I would take over the lab one day. But still, how did you know what the password was? Because I had a really lousy memory for passwords, and that's the password I've always used for really important personal stuff. I was hoping that I had kept using it in the future. Well, you hope right. Now we have full access to all of your files. Absolutely everything in the computer. Including the programs for the Quantum Guard's assault modes. Michelle, is there any way you can transmit them to our Quantum Guards so we could use them? Not all of them. Not with how fast Neferuri's doing. With what Neferuri's doing is cascading it into our time. The best I could do is send each of your Quantum Guards a different assault mode program and remotely activate them. And hope like crazy that at least one of you gets something really useful. As long as it's something that lets me kick butt, then I don't care what it is. But what about the third time window? Even if we get the assault modes, we still have to deal with Neferuri. And even if she can't rewrite us, she can rewrite everything around us. You'd even pull up a huge wall around her to keep us from getting to her on the time window. And for that matter, what's to stop her? I don't know. Sending Bunny and Mizuki after us? If she really can't... Pardon me. If she really can sense what we're doing, I don't think she can. I think the reason she sensed what I was doing before is because it's directly affected the wormhole. Look, what she's doing now, we've already figured out that it must be very complicated. And right now she's busy, so unless we do something that directly affects what she's doing, she's liable to not notice. Okay, I've identified 4 separate assault mode programs. I'm uploading one of them to each of your Quantum Guards. I'll activate them as soon as the upload is complete. Also, I found the schematics of the third time window, and there's a way to stop Neferuri. Really? How? From what I can tell, there are 4 switches integrated into the time window, one on each of the pillars. A fail-safe mechanism in case the time window or whatever is being used to manipulate the flow of time went out of control. Once all 4 are pulled, the time window should isolate Neferuri from the rest of the time stream. It'll keep her from making any more changes. But what about the damage she's already done? And what stops Bunny and Mizuki from just switching the time window back on? Another failsafe. There's a power regulator under the main control panel. If you can get to it, you can use it to reverse the flow of power. Turn all of the energy Neferuri is using back against the time window. That will destroy it completely. Unfortunately, that won't undo the massive paradox she's creating by completely rewriting all of history. And as soon as the wormhole collapses, everything that Neferuri's already changed will be hit by the full effect of it, so all we'll be able to do is hope that time really does heal all wounds. It wasn't much of a plan for sure, but I was scared and had no idea what was about to happen. All I knew was that Neferuri had to be stopped. Alright, look, we don't have much time, so we'll need to move as soon as possible. So, I'm heading to the elevator. Rose, you and the others get ready to attack and hit those switches Michelle mentioned. Just remember that you'll have to take Neferuri and the others by surprise, so as soon as you get the assault modes, you'll have to move fast. Of course, Kenji. I hurried out of the time window room and made my way to the elevator. And as Kenji makes his way to the elevator, we're going to go ahead and call it an episode. If you guys like this video, be sure you slam that like button like a champ. And if you guys want to see more of Time Tenshi 2 Special Edition, since we're getting closer and closer to the end, you know the two ways you got to do it. You got to drop that subscribe button, and you got to hit that bell icon to turn on notifications, so that way you never miss out on another one of my videos here on my channel. So with that being said, I am your friendly neighborhood Wrestlegamer, and I will see you next time right here on WGS-TV. Bye, guys!